Joins us now from Washington. So let's assess Donald Trump. I've interviewed him a number of times. Not an easy interview. How would you do it?
You know something, Bill, you and I have talked about this general subject many times over the years. It's irrelevant how I would do it. And you know who made it irrelevant? You did. You have changed the television landscape over the past 20 years. You took it from being objective and dull to being subjective and entertaining. And in this current climate, it doesn't matter what the interviewer asks him. Mr. Trump is going to say whatever he wants to say, it as outrageous as it may be. And the fact of the matter is, his audience, as much as anything, is not even a television audience. It's an audience on Twitter. They deal in messages of 140 characters or less, which keeps it nice and simple.
Okay, but you know, your old network, ABC, does interview Mr. Trump on a regular basis, and you know, it comes in, and you've got to come in with a strategy with him. You've got to come in with sharp questions, and you're right, maybe his supporters don't care what he says. However, our job, whether I'm a commentator or a reporter, is to get as much information, number one, and two, show the viewer who the person really is. So again, I'll go back to, he's sitting on Nightline, you're opposed right opposite him. How do you do it?
Well, the first way you do it is not in the interview. You do it by some reporting. It's an old-fashioned concept, but I think demonstrating who and what Mr. Trump is and what his various policies really amount to is something you don't do in an interview. He doesn't answer the questions. I've seen any number of your colleagues and mine ask him very pointed questions and do it in a perfectly professional and reasonable fashion. He just ignores the questions. When is the last time you have heard Donald Trump spell out a real policy on anything other than we're going to be the best, we're going to be the greatest, I'm going to negotiate the best deals you've ever seen? There is no substance in any of that, and nobody among his followers seems to care about that.
It's true that he is getting a pass because he's not a traditional politician and he's appealing to emotion, which is a brilliant strategy in this age of dissent in America. Bernie Sanders doing the same thing. I mean, let's be honest, Bernie Sanders' programs are just as wild as some of Mr. Trump's programs. But you still have to sit down.
He's coming in a poor second, and Trump is way ahead of the pack. So it does make a difference.
Right.
Nobody is able to hold Donald Trump to account, because he's not playing by the traditional rules. So
isn't that a smart thing for him to do, though, if he wants to be president?
It's obviously been an incredibly smart thing. I mean, I don't want to pretend that I've been predicting all along that he's going to win. Quite the contrary. I couldn't imagine that he would win. At this point, I find it hard to believe that he won't. I still think that the Republicans are going to do everything they can to take it away from him at the convention, if need be.